Okay, I've had some interest in my 2-inch by 72-inch belt grinder I made myself. It's primitive, almost caveman. You can see right here, skateboard wheels. I just went to Walmart and bought a cheapest skateboard I could find that had about the 2-inch wide wheels. I built the drive pulley out of 3 pieces of plywood, 3/4 inch plywood. I drilled with a 4-inch hole saw. You can look on YouTube, John Hines. He's the guy, I Built It CA. He does a lot of wood geared stuff like Matthias Wandel. He's another good one where I got these ideas at. But I actually copied John Hines' idea on this. Down to the set screw. There's a keyway slot inside the end of that shaft. It's flat, and I just run a screw inside of that. Glued it together, laminated it, got it on the wheel, got it on the motor, spun it, turned it on, and then I took a roughing file and cleaned it up, then sandpaper and cleaned it up. Put a little bevel on it to where it tracks. My tracking wheel is simply a hinge with a rod. This is a bolt in. Sorry, this is a bolt in here. It's tapped inside this steel here, and it just goes in and out. Crank on the handle. It's a real fine adjustment, so you don't need to fool with it a lot. The framework itself is 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. It appears to be 1/8 inch material. The motor is a 1/2 horsepower Dayton. I think a Dayton's actually a good motor. It was given to me by a buddy of mine. He said, "Man, I don't even know if it works." The wire was cut. I wired it in, wired it up, plugged it in, and it works. Eventually, I'm going to do a switch down here, on off, but I haven't been bothered enough to do it. Too lazy or too busy, one or the other. Simple, basic deal. This was actually on an old compressor that was all wore out. The compressor, the motor itself was wore out, but the electric motor was, well, it was questionable. It was good. Once I plugged in, found it out. I just cut all this off the old compressor, and the adjustments are, I kept them that way. You could simply drill the holes in yourself. It's a pain in the ass, but you can drill the holes in yourself. I cheated and used that. My spring system for my tensioner. This is a brake spring off of a 3/4 ton Dodge truck. When I rebuilt the brakes, I just I keep springs and shit like that. They're handy. This is an extra spring. It's a carburetor spring. This is actually unnecessary. It's a carburetor spring off a carburetor you get at any parts store. My pivot point here, I just welded plates on the sides and bolted it in. It pivots real well. I got tension on it because I got this belt on it, but y'all get the point. Simple. I don't have it mounted rigid to my bench. That way I can move it, or if I need to do another project there, I can move it. It doesn't weigh 50 pounds. Works quite well. My tracking is a little off. I need to fool with, I'll show you here. I've got spacers in here for the wheels, and hell, I think they're just 1/4 inch bolts, 1/4 bolts. And I've got spacers. You can see this one here has a poly spacer and a washer. And my tracking's a little off. I haven't fooled with it a whole lot. Like I said, I just went to work with it, and it changed my life. But it runs pretty true. I'm happy with it, and I grind the shit out of a bunch of knives with it. I got a handful of them there that I've done. I was using the, well, this never worked for me. This is a 1x30. You get it Harbor Freight, and it never worked for me. And then I used the 4x36, which this is a Ryobi, which is a good unit. I've had this, and I ground a lot of knives with it, but it was still a pain in the ass. I went ahead and on this one, I cut out a section so I could get a little bit of movement off of it, but it was just a whole lot more work than it was worth, and I finally just got tired of fooling with it and made my own. I hope that helps anybody. Anybody interested? Take it easy.